So Scott, so it's not any relief right now for buyers looking at, I would say, single-family homes, but I heard there is a new program for multi-units that can be incredibly helpful for people. You know anything about that?
This is one of the biggest updates that we've seen in a long time in the mortgage market. And essentially what's happening is where, before now, when you were looking to buy a multi-unit property, anywhere from 2 to 4 units, you'd have to put down anywhere from 15 to 25% as a down payment. And those people that wanted to buy multi-units, their only alternative for a lower down payment was to go with FHA financing. And with FHA financing, we run into a few issues.
There's a lot more hoops to jump through with FHA financing.
A lot more hoops. Yeah. And one of the biggest hurdles, especially with 3 and 4 unit properties, was passing what's called a self-sufficiency test, which we'll get into that another time. But in this higher rate environment, it's very, very difficult to pass. So basically low down payment options on multi-units it's a hard thing to conquer at this point. So with the new Fannie Mae program now making it where you only need 5% down on 2 to 4 unit properties.
And it's not just 5%, it's 5% conventional.
Correct.
Yeah, so it eliminates those hoops you had to jump through prior.
Right. You don't have to worry about going FHA. You don't have to worry about passing self-sufficiency tests. The other nice thing is this isn't just for first-time homebuyers. This is for anybody. Now, you've got to buy it as a primary residence. So it's not for somebody to buy.
Not for investors.
No, but for real estate investors that want to build their portfolio and kind of a house hack, if you will. Now, let's say you're buying a 4-unit property. Well, I'm going to buy the 4 units, but I'm going to live in 1 unit. And the other 3 units, I'm going to rent out. And the other nice part about it is those other units that you're going to rent, you can use 75% of those rents to add back as income to qualify for the loan.
So you could probably afford more than you could have like a single family home or a condo.
Way more.
This really opens up an avenue for house hacking.
It's a major component of house hacking now.
So we'll touch on self-sufficiency tests, right? It's for FHA. And the reason why that's hard in this market, correct me if I'm wrong, is because interest rates are so high, it makes the payment very high and the rents don't cover the amount of the loan, right?
Correct. So most people don't know what a self-sufficiency test is. First of all, it's if you took, basically with FHA, if you're buying a 3-unit property, even the unit that you're going to live in, you could take that unit and you take the 3 rents. So let's say you're buying a 3-unit, and let's just say, for example, all 3 units you can rent for $2,000.
Okay.
So 3 units at $2,000 is $6,000 a month. You can take 75% of those total rents, which if you took 75%, it's $4,500. Now, with that, how to pass the self-sufficiency test is the total monthly payment, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and PMI, that the 75% of those rents have to exceed the total mortgage payment.
That's pretty hard in this market.
Especially in this market. When you're putting 3.5% down on a property and most multi-units are 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, if not more, those numbers don't compute. So we've seen over the last couple of years where a lot of people want to buy multi-units. They don't have the down payment, so they'd like to go FHA, but they can't pass this test, so they can't buy.
And what's helpful, I find too, is especially in a market with low inventory and multiple offers, when you're going with FHA, there's a lot more guidelines that you have to pass than a traditional conventional loan. So that if you're in multiple offer situation, being conventional might be a leg up in this market right now.
A big leg up. And again, FHA financing has got easier over the years. Yeah. There's still a stigma to it that it's very difficult to do, and sellers, they hear the term FHA and they're immediately turned off, and they have this kind of old school mentality of, these loans are extremely difficult. There's so many problems that come along with it. There's so much red tape that sellers hear the term FHA and they just, no, I don't want to do it. So again, it's nice because now this is just a straight conventional loan, regular conventional Fannie Mae guidelines, 620 minimum score, your debt ratios, underwriting, income, assets, all that are just regular conventional guidelines. So it makes it a lot easier to obtain a multi-unit now.
Because we've done some FHA deals together, and I feel like single family homes and FHA approved buildings, easy. Like it's almost like there's no difference. Where I find the trouble is people who've owned multi-family units for 20 years haven't changed windows, roofs, there's lead paint, there's cracking paint, there's breaking, like all those things there make it a lot harder to pass an FHA inspection, right?
100%.
Yeah.